Well, hello, hello, hello. Looks like I'm here and you're here, Karen. I am so happy to see you. Thanks for joining the show. Well, you know that this is the Soul Reader. I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love, the Soul Reader. That's who I am. The reason I call myself the Soul Reader, if you haven't been here before, is because I'm a psychic empath, natural born. And I have been doing readings for probably 40 years or so, but passively. So, and okay, it's good over here, Jill. Yeah, my producer's showing me some things. But passively for about 40 years, and now I decided to do it for the public. So I am glad you are here. Now, again, the reason I call myself the soul reader is I focus on your soul, on your specifically your soul when I do a reading. So that makes me a little bit unique. So I'm not a medium. So I do connect to people on the other side occasionally, but it's because they come to me. It's not because someone has asked me to seek them out. But I still can probably help you with some things if you are having job issues, relationship issues. If you are just walking around, going through your life, all is good, but something's missing. I can help you with that too. Just about anything, but I don't do like dates like, oh, on October 27th, you're going to get a new job. Now, if you want to know whether you should switch to a new job or a new career, I can tell you that. But I'm not going to give you specific dates on when something's going to happen. I may tell you it's going to happen soon, which could be in a few months, could be 6 months. But I might sometimes say, it's going to take a year or so before that happens. So that's what I do. During this show, again, if you haven't been here before and if you're listening to replay, I have a few segments. The first segment I do is called Tony's Mind Mashup. And that's where I kind of talk about the topic of the day. In this week is should you change? That's what it's going to be this week. And then after we get through that, which won't be long, few minutes, and then we can get into the soul readings. And anyone that wants a reading, all you have to do is request. I do need you to be on video, on camera. That'll help me get a grip on reading you. Um, as you probably know, this is not foolproof. Um, so sometimes I may say, "Oh, I'm getting 70% or on you, or I'm getting 80% or 90%." Now, if I say I know this to be true, that means what I'm telling you is 99% it's going to be true. So when I say that, know that what I'm saying it's going to be true. For me, when certain things come through, it's just right in front of me. It's just like looking at the sky when the sky is blue. You look up, the sky is blue. I know this to be true. When it's raining, you look out, oh, it's raining. I know this to be true. So there's things like that. So let me get a little more comfy here. Yeah. And let's get in to there's one other thing I do. Before we get into Tony's mind mashup, I have been writing down one thing a day that I love about myself. Now, I do this not to brag or anything like that, but I also want you to challenge yourself to do the same thing. Just think of, one day, each day, wake up, what is something I love about myself? Or maybe you're going through the day and you realize there's something that you love about yourself. Because when we realize things we love about ourselves, That's a way for us to become happy, to be happy with ourselves. The happier we are with ourselves and who we are and how we live, the better life we will have. So I'm about up to, I don't know, I lost count, but it's I'm probably really close to 40 things that I wrote down, but I'm not reading all of them. I'm going to start from last Wednesday. And this is gonna and it's been kind of hard. It's getting hard now. That every day can I think about something that I love about myself without repeating myself, something that I wrote a few weeks ago. So last Wednesday, the thing I love about myself, one of the things, is that when there's a high ticket item that I need to buy for some reason, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. Um, I'm able to get it at a very good price. We're talking 20, 30, 40, 50% off. So I love that about myself, that I'm able to do that and just find deals. I really do love. Now, it's not a big thing, but when you add it up in a year, it could be thousands of dollars. So you can have a better life because you have more money in your pocket. All right. Now, Thursday. I keep doing things to try to improve my health. I look healthy. I feel healthy now. I didn't always, but I feel healthy now. But I keep trying to do things to improve my health. So if that's exercise, if that's eating different, and I love that I take that initiative because a lot of people won't do that. Oh, I like to eat this, so I'm going to eat it. I don't care how it affects me. Um, and yes, we should eat what we want, on occasion. But if it's going to make our health suffer from it, yeah, you need to think about that. So I like that I do that. Um, Let me see. Hmm. Well, this one is a little difficult for me because I wrote it down, and I guess because I'm trying. But I'm one of those people that whether it's for a job or business I'm doing or some task, whatever it is, sometimes I don't know how to stop. I just keep working, working, working and overload myself and I do it over and over again. So I made a conscious decision not to do that. When I see myself doing it, to stop. Now I haven't been 100% with this. But I am trying real hard. So I love that I'm trying to do that, and I catch myself quite often. So that's really a big deal for me because I've spent my whole life just going, going, going. I used to be a workaholic, and some might say I still am, but if you compared me to back then, ooh, no, absolutely not. So yeah, not a workaholic. Let me see. Saturday. Hmm. I love that I make lists so I can get a lot of stuff done. So that goes with doing a lot of stuff. And then Sunday, nothing. Got nothing. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. I got nothing on Tuesday either. Wow, which is something else. Nothing on Tuesday. So let me see. So that's all for that segment. We're going to get into Tony's mind mashup. That's it. Tony's mind mashup, where we will discuss the topic of the day, the episode of this show. Should you change? Should you? Well, let's find out. Should you change? Wow, that's a good question. Now, some people, including me, will say things like, "Be happy with yourself." Be happy with yourself. Now, I truly do believe that. I believe you should be happy with yourself. You should love yourself. But what if the person that you are, that you're telling yourself you're happy with the situation as you are, just the way you are? What if you're a really mean person? What if you are always just hurting people and you don't care, doing whatever you need to do to scratch your way to the top? You steal people's work you at your job. You take credit for work that you didn't do, but it's getting you to the top. Should you change? Oh, yeah. In that case, you should really change, because all of this negative stuff that you're doing, all of this negative, underhanded stuff is going to come back on you. When you don't treat people with kindness and love, it will come back on you. And it probably already is. If you're listening to me and you're that type of person, it's probably already happening. You wonder why does everything end up going wrong? Because you're doing wrong. You need to change that. So, yes, in that case, you need to change. So, should we change? Yes. But then sometimes, people will tell you, oh, you're too kind. And I'm using kind instead of nice. But if a person says you're too kind, should you change that? No, no. Because when a person tries to get you to stop being kind, they may not be a kind person and they want you to be more like them. Not a good thing. So that's a case where you shouldn't change. Now, let's take nice. Now I'll use nice. If a person says, oh, you're too nice, do you need to change? Probably. You probably need to change because if people say that you're too nice, what they're really saying is people take advantage of you all the time, and you end up getting the short end of the stick. People just run over you and use you and use you and use you, and you can't figure out why that keeps happening to you. Too nice. Too nice. Be kind, not too nice. So those are just a few things that I'm going to talk about on that. That's all I'm going to say on that. And then we can move into the next segment, which is the Soul Reader. But I don't believe there's anyone in the audience, so I don't know who I would be reading tonight. But I am going to play the music because I like it. I like it. It's time. It's time for the Soul Reader. It's time for me to get into your head. It's time for me to connect to your soul. It's time for me to answer some questions that you have. And what are those questions? I'm the Soul Reader. Do I know those questions? No, I don't know what concerns you have until I talk to you. But no one's in the audience tonight. So, what should I do? But, by the way, I just realized something. There may be some people watching this on YouTube. We have finally got it to work from my shows, so I am simulcasting to YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you would like to be in this show, like right now, live, I need you to download the Fireside app. and just come to my show. It's that easy. And you'll be here and you can get right on the stage and ask me any question you wish. Any question if you're there on YouTube. So come on in. Now, this is the first time I haven't had anyone here to read. So what should I do? Should I read myself?
I think you should read the weight bot.
I should read the way about that. That's pretty good.
I have a question though.
Okay, my
And for the
producer.
audience who doesn't know, this is Jill.
Yes, Jill, my
Your producer.
Yes.
You mentioned about being too nice, and you said that if people say you're too nice, chances are you're being taken advantage of.
Hmm.
But isn't it also possible that they're saying that because they're not?
Yes, I did allude to that. Well, yes.
So, for
I alluded
example,
that.
I worked in TV for many years, and people, my entire TV career, said I was too nice, but it's because they were a-holes. I wasn't
No,
like them.
I think you mean type A personalities.
Well, we know what the A stood for, right?
They're type A personalities.
Yes.
Well, yes, I'm happy that you brought up that point, but it can go both ways because you can have a friend that really cares about you and they just keep seeing you get run over. Um, so they really do, a friend would really care about you being too nice. But yes, there are people that will just yeah, but it's been my practice that the people that aren't nice, that tell you you're too nice, they're just letting you know that, hey, I'm going to run over you because you're not nice enough.
Well, they can try. They can
Yes.
try.
Yes, 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 yes. They
I always took it to
definitely.
mean, well, but I don't want to be like you.
Correct. Correct, correct.
And nor
Well,
did they want to be like me.
okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch gears here since there's no one to read, but I'm going to tell a story, a true story. And I was on someone else's podcast, and actually, I will say it because you can Homespun Haints, good friends of mine. Check out their show, and they had Jill and I as guests on their show. So we talked about our other podcast and things like that, and we also talked about my gifts. So one of the gifts, I used to be a over the road truck driver and owner operator. I own trucks and all of that. But this one night, it was in the winter. It was probably December or January. I can't really remember, but I was in upstate New York, and I was headed towards Rochester, New York, and I was east of Rochester, probably 120 miles southeast, actually. But a blizzard was coming in, and it already started coming down hard. And I was really sleepy because I had been up for a crazy amount of hours. You know that's a they say truck drivers don't get enough sleep and all of that. Well, this is true. It's not as true nowadays, but back then it was very true. So I was coming through the back roads and there's nowhere to pull over. It was snowing so hard, you can pull over an 18 wheeler and then, if you're on a back road and go off into a ditch and the next thing you know you're there for days because it's a snowstorm, it's a blizzard. So I'm really tired. I'm fighting to keep my eyes open. So another truck driver gets in behind me And you all have heard of the CB radio. So he got on the CB radio and he just said, "Hey, driver, how you doing? Where you headed to?" I said, "Oh, I'm headed to Rochester, but I'm really tired, and I know better than to stop around here because I might get stuck." He says, "Yeah." He said, "Well, no problem. I'm going that way too." He says, "I'm going to the what was the name of the truck stop? It just slips me now, but it's just outside of Rochester." And he says, I'll follow you behind you, and I'll keep talking to you, help you stay awake." So we're driving, you could barely see the road, taking our time, and he's talking, and who knows what we talked about? Just whatever, whatever. Where you going to deliver? Blah blah blah. Have you been there before? All this kind of talk, and we had about another 2 hours to go. So this driver, Pembroke, that's where the truck stop was, Pembroke, New York. So this truck driver, he's behind me, he's talking to me, and we're doing this for about 2.5 hours. And we finally get on the New York thruway, which was a little bit better. We're heading west, and right at the exit. And if anyone has been on the New York thruway, you know that when you get off the thruway, you have to go to a toll and pay a toll. So there's nowhere to turn around. It's not like when you get off the exit, you can make a right or a left. No, it leads you straight to the toll. You cannot turn around, especially in an 18 wheeler. There's just no room. You can't turn around. It's impossible. And if you did turn around, if you were in a car and turned around and you got back on the thruway, whenever you got to the end of with your next exit, things wouldn't add up, and they would charge you the full price for going one end to the other of the throughway. So there's nowhere to turn around. So we get off the exit. He's right behind me. I'm looking at him in the mirror. I said, "All right." I said, "Stand by a minute. I'm gonna pay my toll, and I'll talk to you, after we get through the toll." He said, "Okay, driver, no problem." So I pull up to the toll. I'm paying my toll. I'm looking in the mirror and the truck is right behind me, waiting to pay his toll. So I pay the toll and I start rolling and I look in the mirror. Nothing. Nothing. There's no truck behind me. He couldn't turn. He couldn't get off. He couldn't do anything. Gone. Didn't exist. Didn't exist. So that was my angel trucker behind me. He guided me for 2.5 hours to safety. And I just thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Creator. Because without that angel, I never would have made it. I know I wouldn't. Because I couldn't keep my eyes open. I would have ended up in a ditch or something. Who knows what would have happened to me. And things like that while I was on the road happened many times. It always wasn't a ghost trucker behind me. Sometimes it was a voice, and I could hear it just as if it was in the cab with me. If the voice told me get off the next exit, that's what I did. I listened. And then later I would find out if I didn't get off that exit, I may have died that night. So yeah. So things have been happening to me my whole life. I've had experiences with certain homes I've lived in, uh, all types of things that are unexplainable happen to me throughout my life, and it's just a natural part of my life. I don't get freaked out by it. These are experiences I've had my entire life. So yeah, I'm just sharing because no one's at my show. But I hope you're watching this in replay, and I hope you're listening to this on YouTube, which I am streaming to live. Live, I am. Well, gee, I guess I got nothing else to talk about. Nobody to talk to. I'm pretty good at talking to myself. but I won't tonight. I won't tonight.
Do you want to tell everyone why you're not reading me?
But you're my wife.
Well, I just want people to
Well,
understand what that's like for when you know someone very well.
yeah, I don't typically read family members or close friends. Um Mostly because it gets cloudy. Um so I can feel things that a family member is going through, what they're feeling. But if I have a too close of a connection, I can let my personal opinion affect what I'm supposed to tell them. So that's where I say it gets cloudy. So I'm supposed to tell them something. And well, let me explain when I'm supposed to um, tell someone something. I don't make these decisions. So when I was doing passive readings, when I was younger, if I was supposed to tell something, like another voice tells me, hey, tell this person such and such. Could be something off the wall, just ridiculous. And I would be afraid to say it. Not until I got into my 20s did I start telling people the messages that I received to give them. The messages could be coming from their loved ones, from their passed on ancestors. It could be coming from my spirit guide. It could be coming from anywhere, anywhere. But if I would just walk up to a person out of the blue and say, "You're not supposed to be working at McDonald's. You're not supposed to be there." Then I might say, "You're supposed to be a massage therapist." Got it out. And how do you know that? How do you know that? I don't know. I just know stuff. That's what I used to say all the time. I just know stuff. And then it'll turn out that the person was going to school to be a massage therapist. So again, I never say that it's me. You know, it comes from somewhere else. I never know what I'm going to say beforehand. I even say things that I might think that I'm just talking, but the messages I give are specific to them, and that helps. Now, going back to Jill, I did read her not long after we started dating, and I was kind of afraid to read her because I was afraid I might lose her. She might be like, "Ooh, he's all woo woo." She might say, "I don't want to mess with that." She might. She might. But I learned over the years that I have to take that chance. I couldn't keep a secret like I have always done before then. Most people didn't know that I do what I do. But if I knew if I kept it a secret, our relationship would have started out wrong. So I let her know, and I read her, and she wasn't afraid. She thought it was interesting, which was good. And that was how many years ago? 16, 17 years? No, it might have 17 years ago now, or 18,
19.
19 years ago. Yeah, because that was 2 years before we got engaged. Yeah, 19 years ago. And here we are still together for honesty.
And I still think it's fascinating.
Thanks, Jill. And for the most part, I don't, I would like to say I don't read Jill, but sometimes it just comes through. I don't do it intentionally, it just comes through. But here's the thing. This is another reason why I try not to read family members. It can be difficult for a family member to hear a message in one ear, out the other. I have told Jill countless times, not like I was reading her. I did read her. I get messages on, what the issue is, whatever she's struggling through, and I will just make a suggestion. I won't say the message came from somewhere. I'll just make a suggestion. Well, Jill, maybe it's because of such and such. And she won't pay me any attention until someone else tells her. I even stopped saying, well, Jill, I told you that 2 years ago. Jill, I told you that a year ago. Jill, I told you that last month. So I usually don't say anything.
Well, people have to be right, ready to receive messages
Yes.
too. And if you had said to me, "This is a message, Jill," then I would have listened. But just a suggestion, I probably don't listen as much.
Yeah, okay. Oh man.
You don't take
Well,
hints well, I don't take hints well. Just tell me.
All right. Well, we're into about 30, 33 minutes in here. The show usually runs an hour or more, but I've got nobody to read. I need an audience to read. So in the next show, if you're listening into replay, the show is every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, also, if you're watching this in replay, you can contact me through the fortune cookie. There's a little fortune cookie with a whole bunch of squirreling, crawling letters.
Scrolling?
Yeah. Scrolling letters there that you can't see because the
It says
font
connect with Anthony, and then
so
it
it's
has a
so
link.
small. So it's so small. See, I can't barely see it. So yeah, you can connect with that. But there's the man about love at gmail.com. You can get me there. There's even a number you can call me at, and that number is area code 470-377-1731. Area code 470-377-1731. Now, fair warning. If I don't pick up on the first or third ring, it takes 6 rings before it goes to voicemail. So let it ring. Let it ring if you want to leave a message. And you can also leave a text, if I'm not mistaken. That's a Google phone number, but I'm pretty sure you can leave a text there also. So you can contact me there, and we can talk for a minute. You might even get a 30-minute free reading, just like that. Amazing. And again, if you're listening to this on YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'd love to give you a free reading. Remember, I'm the soul reader. I'm going to connect to your soul. So this is the part of you that people may not know. This is the part of you that you may not know, which is even more important. Um, we all are individuals. Each one of us is different. But you know what? As many so there's so many people in this world, and each one is different. But at the same time, a lot of us are the same. A lot of us have the same issues, the same concerns. A lot of us have been through the same stuff, even if it's bad stuff. A lot of us, a lot of us have been through divorces, have been through abuse. A lot of us have been through death, and I'm talking death of a family member, a loved one. We've been through that. A lot of us are depressed, have been depressed, are still depressed, taking meds. A lot of us can't figure out why we're even here. Why are we on this planet? Why are we here? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? A lot of us can't figure this out. But I'm here to tell you the answers have always been there. But we got to clear our heads, clear our minds of all the nonsense we got going on up in here. Nonsense stuff like, oh, I want a new car, but I just don't want a new car. I want a Ferrari. Why do you want that Ferrari? That's the question. Why do you want that Ferrari? Oh, because such and such actor has it. But you're not an actor. you you don't have that actor money. Why do you don't even have a house? Why do you want a Ferrari? No, you don't want a Ferrari. That may be in your wildest dreams, but realistically, that's not where you should be thinking. No. We see all these images on what a good life is. But what is a good life? Are you happy? A car is not going to make you happy. Maybe for a minute, but not forever. I'm talking about that everlasting joy. The answers are there. All we have to do is listen. You never know who a message or where a message is going to come from or who it's going to come from. You may think that, an uneducated person, a homeless person can give you no knowledge, no peace, nothing that you can take away that will help you grow. You can get a message from anywhere, from anybody. You just have to listen. Start listening to people. Take the time. We're always so quick. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. And you see these people every day when you're stopped at a traffic light. The light turns green. It hasn't been a half a second since the light turned green and somebody's blowing at you. Hurry up. Where you going to go in that half a second? Road rage. What the hell is road rage? Why is road rage? You know how they say when it comes to road rage, oh, and they've done studies. A person can be the kindest person. Everybody says, oh, they're the kindest person ever. But they get behind the wheel, and next thing they have road rage. They get cut off. They're cussing a person out, telling, oh, I'm going to kill you because you cut someone off. So even though that person looks kind and peaceful on the outside when they're going around in their regular life around people, but in their car, they switch. That's not a switch. It's not a switch. It's what's inside them. If they didn't have this anger inside them, they wouldn't act that way when they get behind the wheel. It's in there. Just needed to come out, that rage. So what happened to them? What got them to that point? A lot of different things. You know, I read people every day, every day, every day. Think about it. Think about if you were now I've learned to protect myself where I don't take on their emotions anymore, but you think about it. I'm a natural born empath. So reading people, feeling people's emotions is natural to me. I was born this way. So the more people I see, the more people I come in contact with, the more people I feel. That's why I try not to be around too many people all the time, even though I have learned to protect myself. But people, all of us, we got stuff going on. We got stuff going on that we don't even understand. We have trauma in us from when we were a child. And trauma can come from all different places. You can have a parent that was an alcoholic. You could have a parent that provided for you, kept a roof over your head, made sure you had clothes, made sure you went to school, but they never showed you any love. Never. That's trauma. And you hold it with you. It's in you. You may not even realize it. You probably thought that, oh, it's normal to be treated like this by your parent. That's the way life is. And then you wonder why all your relationships fail. Because maybe inadvertently, but your parents, by not showing you love, they cause damage, they cause trauma within you. Just about all of us have got something. If you've come from a divorced family, if your parents divorced when you were young, there's trauma connected to that. Now you might say, "Oh, I'm okay. It didn't matter. Oh, it's all right." In my case, I always felt my parents should have been divorced. So with them staying married caused me trauma and a lot of trauma and drama, a lot of it. So all of us have something. No matter how perfect a family looks on the outside, all of us have something. We have trauma from siblings. Oh yeah, your siblings love you. Oh yeah, your siblings love you, but siblings can be rough on you. It creates trauma. Things that we carry with ourselves when we become adults. And it affects our decision making on how we will handle a situation. It affects how we raise our children. It affects so many decisions. It affects what types of jobs we'll even go for. Because what has affected us during our lives kind of direct us in a certain direction, this way, that way. And we may not understand it. We might think we're in a profession that we love, but maybe it's the profession our parents wanted us to go into. Now we've convinced ourselves that we love it. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Come and get a reading and we'll find out. That's what you do. But my point is, as being a natural born empath, I have felt more people than I can count. So when I say all of us are unique, all of us are different, but yet still, a lot of us are suffering with the same things. The same things. So, yes, we are unique, but at the same time, we're the same. So, I can help you with that. These are the things I know about people very quickly. Very quickly. Oh, I've seen this before. Oh, I've seen this before. Oh, I've seen that before. And when I say seen this before, what I'm really saying is I've felt this before. I've read this before through another person. There could be different degrees, but it's it's very common for me. You know, a lot of us now are beginning to say that we're empaths. Like everybody's an empath now. Everybody's an empath. And there are a whole lot of empaths in this world. There's a lot. But the problem is society looks down on that kind of stuff, looks down on the woo woo, all the woo mysterious stuff. They look down at it, on it. So what do? We hide it to fit in. That's what I did. Hid it to fit in. So there are actually a lot of empaths. Now, here's the deal. So you imagine a child, a teenager, an adult walking around. Yeah, it's a lovely day. They're just walking around and they walk past someone. A person could be going the other direction. They walk past someone and now they're angry and they don't know why. They don't know why. It's a beautiful day. They were feeling great before they walked past that person. But being an empath, they don't understand that they're taking on these emotions because they're like undiagnosed. And so now they're angry, walking around angry. They have no idea why. And guess what? That makes them more angry because they don't know what's going on. And then 30 minutes later, they could be having a conversation with someone that's just positive and kind and loving, and they start feeling better, and they start feeling lighter, and they start smiling. And then they say, "Oh, I love being around such and such person because I'm always happy when they're around." Yeah, because you're taking on their emotions. So when you don't have control of your own emotions and you don't even know that you don't have control of your own emotions because there's someone else's, that creates a lot of problems. And what do people tend to do when they have questions and having mental problems that they don't know how to handle? They medicate themselves with alcohol or drugs or sex or all of the above or pain. There's so many things that happen to empaths because they're just trying to cope. They can't get a grip. And you can go to a psychiatrist, but if they're not specialized in empathy and being empathic, if they're not specialized in that, you'll get misdiagnosed. And now you're taking, legal drugs that you probably shouldn't be taking. But that's the way it is. So if you're listening to this on replay, if you're listening to this on YouTube live now or in replay on YouTube, and you suspect that you're empath, I've even spoken to people on this show where I've told them, I said, well, you're an empath. And they'll say, yeah, I know, but I don't know how to protect myself. Here I am. I can help you with that. But you have to embrace it. You can't just keep going around, "Oh, I don't believe in that stuff." When you're an empath, you can't do it. You will not heal. And this is not something you can heal from because it's who you are. What it is you becoming who you are because you've been hiding that part of you. You've been unknowingly hiding it because you didn't know that you're an empath. And this goes for any type of person that has any types of gifts, whether they're a medium, whether they're a psychic, whether whatever they can do, whether they're a healer. See, because healers take on people's pain, physical pain. They can feel it. They'll feel what you feel. And a lot of healers have the same problem. They're around someone that has some physical conditions that, who knows? They they might have pancreatitis, I guess get it out today.
Pancreatic?
Pancreatic,
Pacre
pancreatic,
pac pancreatic.
pancreatic. Well, yeah,
There
they,
you go,
they
you
got
got
a
it.
bad appendix.
Well, that's different.
What's the difference?
You mean a pancreas or an appendix?
Oh, well, yeah, those two are different.
Yes, they are.
You can tell I'm not a doctor. But anyway, I guess tonight's show is talking about being empaths and empathic and realizing that this is what you are and start accepting it. And the way you do that is If you suspect it, you probably are it. So once you suspect it, you can start paying attention to when you're having a good day. And then all of a sudden it turns into a bad day. You don't know why. Watch your emotions, watch how they change. Now, you can say, oh, well, that's a manic depressive. Yeah, could be. But a lot of times it's not. You may be an empath. Maybe. It's not for sure. But there's a lot of information out there. All you have to do is Google, what are the signs that I might be an empath? And you'll say, oh, shoot. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that. And you might think, well, everybody does that. Nope, everybody does not do that. So, anyway, we're almost at the top of the hour. I believe my producer coaxed me into making the show longer. Even though I don't have an audience, she knows I could talk for hours. You know, like in television, if it's live and something goes wrong, a guest doesn't show up, and the producer will say, "Hey, you got 30 minutes to fill with no guest."
It's called stretching.
Yes, you need to stretch. That's right. You need to stretch. You need to stretch. I can stretch no problem.
But you don't need to do that now.
I've had no one to read. No one in my audience tonight. This is a first, no one. But it's okay. I still love you all. I really do. Life is hectic. Life is busy. If you were here, you're here. You're supposed to be here. If you're not here, you're not supposed to be here. Maybe it'll be replay. Maybe it won't. But it's okay. Because I'm still happy. I'm still good. I'm still good. So I'm going to start getting into closing this show. I will. But there's a couple of things. Next week's show, episode 9. Check this out. This is what it's called. See you, see me, see us. See you, see me, see us. See you, see me, see us. See you, see me, us. Yes. See us. So that's the episode next week. And I won't be doing it here from my comfy couch of my home with my little bells and stuff and my candles. I'll be at a hotel. I'll be at the Brown Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky, doing my show from there because that's where I'll be. So good thing we can take this show on the road. And who knows what'll happen during that show. Might be a quick one, might not be, might do some live readings there. Who knows? But we'll see. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all there next Tuesday. Now, again, my phone number if you want to reach me is 470-377-1731. And you can also reach me at themanaboutlove@gmail.com. And remember, if no one answers that phone, at least let it ring 6 times. I don't know why they set it up like that, and I can't change it. So let it ring 6 times. You can leave a message or you can leave a text, whatever you want to do. Right now, the song you're hearing is called Feel Freedom by Mixed Sound. The song for the open was called Feel the Wave. Woohoo! Yeah, I want to ride that wave. That is by Emilio Maroon, yes it is. And the Soul Reader music is The Path of Less Resistance by AG Music. And I love you all. Even if you didn't come to my show, I still love you. And I especially love you if you're watching this on replay, if you're watching this on YouTube. I love you so much. So till the next time, the Soul Reader is gonna be out of here. I'm gonna get rid of the video. We're gonna turn so that way you know I'm on my way out. So where the video's gone. Poof. Now here's always the hard part, because sometimes